grandmother of Jesus Christ, Tamar. We want to talk about that because we're going to look at some of the hypocrisy that have been written in the Bible about African people. And we must understand that the Canaanites are an African people. That's what they are. When you look at the lineage of Canaan, being the son of Ham, Ham is the patriarch of the African nations in the Bible: Egypt, Ethiopia, Libya, ancient Arabia, okay, Mesopotamia, excuse me, early Mesopotamia. All of that is Hamitic. That's Ethiopian Cushite bloodline. And see, what has happened is that they have stolen our identity. And we must, that's why I go into the book. You see, it's a very powerful institution to go in. You know, it's like when Neo went up in whatever that, remember the guy he was fighting in the Matrix, and he went inside of him. You see what I'm saying? And he you know, and you just seen him, and you know, he was shaking and shit, and he exploded. So he went inside of him to destroy him. You see, this is what we're doing here. You see, yeah. So we're looking at that. You know, and I was, and people bring this up because in Matthew, in the New Testament, where a Canaanite woman came to Jesus, and her daughter had been possessed by a devil, a demon, and she was begging Jesus to help her, that you know he could come and remove this demon from her daughter. And at first, Jesus didn't even respond. The disciples say, "Well, what you want us to do with her? You want us to send her away, or you know what I'm saying?" And the response was, "Give that which is give not that which is holy unto the dogs." Boy, I tell you, the people that write these, "Neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you." Okay, so he referred to this woman as a dog. And so we know the genealogy of Jesus Christ. We know the genealogy of Jesus Christ. And so his genealogy, from a matriarchal standpoint, goes back to a Canaanite woman named Tamar. Okay, and the patriarch Judah. Okay, Judah and Tamar are the matriarch and patriarch of the tribe of Judah. Okay, so it go back to the Canaanite woman, and they had a son named Perez. Perez. And if you go into Jesus' genealogy, you will see that boy's name, Perez, in his genealogy. Okay, and so that not only does that include Jesus, that includes Solomon, that includes David, all of them. You understand? Of the tribe of Judah. Okay? And so for him to call this woman, a Canaanite woman, a dog, does that mean his great-great-grandmother, matriarch of the tribe of Judah, Tamar, does that mean her too? Because if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't even be here. He had to find another genealogy. That's the genealogy that he have. Okay, coming through the line of Judah. Okay, so anyone in that tribe trace their lineage back to Tamar, the Canaanite woman. I don't understand this. And then he comes after the order, not before, after the order of Melchizedek, the king of Salem, not only king, but priest, high priest of the Most High, El. We got to understand El. So now today they done stole the identity of the African Canaanite. Now they call God El. Yeah. Geno Jennings, I don't know what Geno Jennings, Geno ain't going back to Africa. He don't go back to Africa. You understand what I'm saying? Geno Jennings ain't going back to Africa. He ain't doing it right. He ain't doing it right. He ain't doing it right. Cause he would have been skirted off and went into Africa. You see, he know them people didn't stole that religion. Geno Jennings know that. He know they didn't stole that religion. So I don't even want to hear none of that. You see, I don't even want to hear none of that. He came after the order of Melchizedek, the African Canaanite. Okay, who even gave him the ritual of bread and wine. Okay, the Last Supper and all of the little Catholic church where they come in there, give you a little wafer, put it on your tongue, give you a little sip of wine. Even the Catholic church, when you watch communion in Catholic church, what you seeing is the ritual that came from the African Canaanite high priest Melchizedek. Okay? The first priest to be mentioned and has no beginning or no end. And a lot of people try to compare Jesus, which is not true. Melchizedek had no beginning and no end. You can go right in there and see the beginning of Jesus born through Mary. He has a beginning. Okay, he had an end too when they put him up on that cross. But it says that he has no genealogy. Melchizedek didn't have no genealogy. You can go right in the Bible and see the genealogy of Jesus. So all they do is usurp our identity. You see, they try to usurp our identity, the African, Canaanite, Phoenician, Egyptian, Ethiopian, that whole area was us. From Mesopotamia, Arabia, all the way through up into Turkey, all the way back down to the continent of Africa, and even beyond. But that right there was our main area of influence. You see, that main area of influence. And from there, it went beyond into other areas, such as India and further east. You see, but that was our area. So the thing is, we have to understand that they didn't stole the African Canaanite who are blood brothers to the Egyptians and Ethiopians. They are blood brothers and blood sisters to the Egyptian, Ethiopian, all the way to the beginning of the Nile. Okay? And so the Israelites never built nothing. They ain't never built nothing. That ain't even their language. When you go into the Bible, there's no mentioning of a Hebrew language. Okay, that language is referred to as the language of Canaan. Nathaniel, you hear that? Nathaniel, El, that's Canaanite, that's Phoenician. Even the Bible is taken from Canaanite, Phoenician, Biblos, papyrus. Papyrus, that's what Biblos means, papyrus. So this is where the root of Bible come from. We got to wake up, man. Even Jerusalem is named after Jebus. Now that's where Melchizedek was the king of Salem. Okay, what later became Jerusalem. Okay, and that's named after Jebus, the Jebusites, that they were supposed to run up out of there. Okay, so the Zion, they always talking about the holy mountain of God. That was already holy. That was holy under Melchizedek. That was holy before Abraham even showed up. They were already popping before Abraham even showed up. What is y'all talking about out there, man? We got to wake up out of our madness. Check it out, family. Check out, again, Tamar, Melchizedek. and check out the god El, and you will see his Egyptian connection with the Atef crown and the crown of Upper Egypt, proving the brotherhood of Canaan, Phoenicia with Egypt and Ethiopia. Do yourself a favor, family. That's right. Now, for the family, before I leave, now, if you take Salem and you spell it backwards, Melas, Melis. Go look it up. In Greek, Melis means black. Look it up. And male in Melchizedek is rooted in melanin and melis, which it means black. Look it up. I'll see you in a minute. Get over to Patreon, support, get some of that fire, and I'll see you in a minute. Boom.